Wresting back command of world tennis remains a long-term project. For now, the American men at the Australian Open are delighted to have taken over locker room B, just off the transport corridor deep inside Rod Laver Arena. "We pretty much own that," said Bjorn Fratangelo, a 23-year-old based in Orlando, FLA. "We are all in there, and pretty much every American is in the same section of the locker room. We are seeing each other and wanting each other to do well, and I think it really helps us. There is strength in numbers, strength in camaraderie, and although the United States will almost certainly never again have as many top competitors as it had in the 1970s, when more than a third of the players in the major singles draws were American, there is definitely room for the country to become a much bigger factor." Andy Roddick's victory at the 2003 United States Open remains the last time an American man won a Grand Slam singles title, the longest drought in American tennis history. And it has also been nearly 12 years since an American woman not named Williams has reached a Grand Slam singles final, Lindsay Davenport, the runner-up at Wimbledon in 2005. But the generation on the rise and in some cases already in prime position, see 8th-ranked Madison Keys, 21, now coached by Davenport, is particularly promising. "I think it's top-notch, your new American generation," said Patrick Mouratoglou, the Frenchman who coaches Serena Williams and is a significant figure in player development through his academies in France. "Among the young men in particular, there is really a group of 5, 6, 7 guys who play really well and have enormous potential." 7 American men 20 or younger made it into the 128-player main draw in Melbourne. The last time that had happened at a major tournament was at the 2006 United States Open. They arrived here by various routes. Taylor Fritz and Jared Donaldson qualified for direct entry on ranking. Francis Tiafoe, Ernesto Escobedo, Noah Rubin and Reilly Opelka came through the gauntlet of qualifying. Michael Mmoh received a wild card. The result was that the United States had more men competing in singles, 14, than any other nation. The women also led the way with 18 representatives, and the country could have had 21 if Keys Sloane Stephens and 17-year-old Cici Bellis, the youngest player in the top 100, had not had to withdraw before the tournament with injuries. The youngest player in the top 200, 17-year-old Kayla Day, who is 5 months younger than Bellis, was beaten in the first round by the German veteran Andrea Petkovic, 6-3, 6-2. But Day, a left-hander from California, still earned a rave review in her first Grand Slam match as a professional. "I think she has tremendous talent," Petkovic said. "I said it to you guys, if you remember in Carlsbad, when I played Sloane and I beat her easily as well. But I've had the same feeling with Kayla because her ball is so heavy. You just feel it in the racket when the ball really has something behind it." For a long-time tennis writer, this year's Open is a flashback to the days, and nights, when there never seemed to be enough time to track American progress in the first week because too many players were playing on too many courts at the same moment. "That's a nice problem to have," said Opelka, a 19-year-old who at 6 feet 11 and 1/2 inches is, with Ivo Karlovic, the tallest man at this level in tennis history. Internal rivalries among peer groups have long been a pathway to tennis success. The Americans, the Australians, the Spaniards, and the Swedes have all used their compatriots' success for fuel through the decades. But for now, the young Americans are taking a collective, mutually supportive approach, one the United States Tennis Association is encouraging under its new general manager for player development, Martin Blackman. "Many of the Americans feel as if they have grown up together," Opelka said. He considered Tiafoe, Fritz, Mmoh, and Tommy Paul, an American ranked number 282, to be among his closest friends. They often roomed together at the U.S.T.A.'s former player development complex in Boca Raton, FLA, a place Opelka jokingly compared to a jail cell. "We couldn't even go across the street to Panera Bread to eat lunch, we were, like, stuck there all day," he said. "I got caught once sneaking over just to get a sandwich and almost got sent home. But we made the most out of it, and I think that's why we're all so close." Opelka and others, including Fratangelo, are now training together at the new USTA National Campus in Orlando, FLA, where Jim Courier, the United States Davis Cup captain, who lives nearby, has been a frequent observer. "It's really changed the perspective for the players, we do feel as if we're a small team," said Fratangelo, a former French Open junior champion who lost to Rubin, a fellow American, in 5 sets in the first round in Melbourne. He added, "We are having a lot of young guys having some success. I think it's good, and it's even better that we are all supporting each other." Jack Sock, a 24-year-old American who has just broken into the top 20, is still getting to know the new wave and sounds more conflicted on the team concept. There's a group of us and then another group of young guys coming up, but at the end of the day, tennis is an individual sport, and I'm trying to do the best I can, he said. At the end of the day, I have got to worry about myself but hope that the group can do well. The results have been mixed in Melbourne. Opelka, whose long limbs supply serious leverage on his booming serve and ground strokes, made his Grand Slam singles debut Tuesday, losing by 6-4 in the fifth set to 11th-seeded David Goffin of Belgium. Fritz, 19, the highest ranked of the 20 and under Americans at number 93, was beaten by Gilles Muller of Luxembourg, 7-6, 6, 7-6, 5, 6-3. Fritz will soon be headed home to Palos Verdes, California, to await the birth of his first child. Any day now, he said, explaining that his wife had pushed for him to make the trip to Melbourne. She understood. She would be upset if I stayed, to be honest. She wants the best for my tennis career. Tiafoe, 18, and Escobedo, 20, did win their first round matches on Tuesday. The experience was particularly emotional for Tiafoe, who had come so close to his first Grand Slam singles victory at last year's United States Open before dropping a two-set lead against a fellow American, John Isner. Amid the sting of that loss, Tiafoe said, he promised himself that at the next opportunity, I definitely am going to take it. He fulfilled that vow Tuesday by defeating Mikhail Kukushkin of Kazakhstan, 6-1, 6-7, 3, 6-3, 6-2 and will now face his friend Alexander Zverev, a 19-year-old German widely considered the most promising young talent in the world. In total, 9 American men reached the second round, the most at the Australian Open since 2008, and it is not just the new arrivals who are feeling optimistic. Steve Johnson, 27, who reached the fourth round at Wimbledon last year, has changed his diet and dropped 15 pounds, to 183, since the United States Open. It wasn't fun having special meals prepared for me during Thanksgiving and Christmas, but I feel the best I've ever felt, and I'm moving the best I've ever moved, he said. Sok, who will face the young and promising Russian Karen Khachanov in the second round, just won a title in Auckland, New Zealand. Courier said Sok was poised for a strong season with his improved fitness, his greater experience and, of course, his unconventional and thunderous forehand, which is consistently the fastest in the game. But then, January at Melbourne Park, like baseball's spring training, is a time for dreaming big dreams. The reality is that pro tennis remains a brutally competitive, very global endeavor, and for now, all that the young Americans rule is locker room B.